Alright, hello po sa lahat. Good day. This is TM Joseph. Welcome to the Corporate Mystic. And today we are live. And our topic is, do you know that we are gods? Do you know that we are gods? So I'll just be sending the link to everyone so that everyone can join our discussion. Hold on. Hello po sa lahat. Good day, this is TM Joseph and welcome to the Corporate Mystic. So eto no, usap-usap lang tayo. Um, the topic for tonight is, do you know that we are gods? Alright, hi guys, good day. Sino nandyan? Please drop a message there sa chat below. Hi Delbert Carillo, good evening. Namaste brother, welcome, welcome. Sino pa? Please invite others brother if may gusto kang imbitahin, if may gusto kang sumali pa sa discussion natin. They're all welcome to join. Alright? Alright, sino pa? By the way, brother, today we will be discussing um, this topic. Do you know that we are gods? So, yeah, yung mga kakilala mong interested dyan, yung mga taong, gusto mong matuto ng mga bagay na to, yung mga taong medyo close-minded. Alright? Or pwede rin yung taong kasama mo na sa path mo ngayon, in the path of spirituality. Para mas maganda yung kwentuhan natin. Alright? By the way, thank you. Thank you for dropping by. So, send ko lang muna sa messenger kung sino yung available. Baka may humabol pa. Alright, sino bang nandyan? Good evening, good evening. Welcome to our live streaming tonight. So, hintayin lang natin na medyo dumami pa yung yung makiki-join sa atin. Alright. Pause ko lang muna to. Alright, ilan na tayo dito? We are 5 all in all here. Welcome, guys. Hi, Romel Andoy. Namaste. Welcome po. Alright, share ko muna sa ibang groups tong link. Share to a group. Kumusta na po kayong lahat? Romel Andoy, hello. Wait, kumusta? Sir Delbert Carillo, kumusta po? Marami pang makapag-join. Alright, I think that's it. Alright, sige, simulan na siguro natin. Hello po sa lahat. Again po, my name is TM Joseph. I'm actually jurisdiction of the One Holy Catholic Church. Now, I created this YouTube channel to hopefully share to our fellow Filipinos the mysteries, or perhaps the secrets, should I say secrets, or the realities, the mystical realities that all human beings are according to an old Hindu proverb, no, um, we are not human beings having a temporary spiritual beings, but rather we are spiritual beings having a temporary human experience. So basically, itong channel na to, this is created for those people who wanted to, make the most out of their lives. And since, yun nga, being human is not just about the physical body, because we have a transcendent body, we have a transcendent reality, we have a transcendent aspect of our very own being. So, we have a soul, or others call that spirit, which is directly connected to the divine or God. And our physical body, which can be seen, this is just the container, right? This is just the vessel, so that the divine or the spirit will manifest here in this world. Now, the topic is, do you know that we are gods? Now, first, do you believe that we are gods? Yes or no? Second is, if it's yes, why? If no, if you don't believe that we are gods, then why? All right. So I'll type in the question below. Do you know? Do you believe that you are gods? So topic number and all right. So yes, I'll be waiting for your answers. All right. So I'll be reading your answers, and also we will be discussing um, your answers. All right. So yun, I just posted the question. Topic: do you believe that you are gods? Why and why not? Hello there, Joanna Paula Marte. Namaste. Kumusta, kumusta? Thank you for dropping by. All right. So, guys, again, the topic for tonight is, do you know that you are gods? Now, just for us to have a discussion, let me start with a question. So, first, my question is, do you believe that you are gods? Yes or no? And number two, why or why not? Okay? All right. Let me check with the others. All right, sa mga nandyan, yeah, please answer the topic. Do you believe that you are gods? Why or why not? Okay? And yun. What do you think about the people who claim that they are gods? Right? There are many religious leaders as well today who are claiming that they are gods or they are God. But in their case, they claim that they are uh, the only servant of God that is existing today. I will not name any religious leader, but I know that you know that there are religious leaders who are claiming that they are the appointed Son of God. Alright, hello, hello sa lahat ng nandyan. Good evening. Sino ba nandyan? Please drop a comment below if you are here. Alright, I'll post hi. Okay, so time check. It's already 10:37. So it's been like 37 minutes that since I have started this live stream. Alright. Question po, can you hear me clearly? Hello, can you hear me clearly right now? Are there any background noises? Is there any sound? Yeah, please drop a comment below just to check because I want to check if do I sound better with this setup? Kasi instead of using a ceiling fan, I'm using an electric fan right now. Kasi last time when I used the ceiling fan, ang ingay kasi parang may kuryente na sound na nakakatch yung microphone. So, earlier I checked, wala namang ingay when I use the electric fan. So, yeah, I just want to double check if you guys are hearing any background noises. Right, so please let me know. Okay. All right. Alright guys, kape muna. Alright, so sinong nadagdag? Alright. Alright. Namaste sa lahat ng nandito. Namaste means I honor the divine in you, which is also the divine in me. Meaning I honor God in you because that is also the God within me. And when you are in that place in you and I am in this place in me, we are actually one. Alright? Namaste. Alright, so sa mga nandyan, I actually posted a topic because the title for today's live stream event is Do you know that we are gods? So that's the statement coming from me. Now, the topic is first, do you believe that you are gods? Alright? And then second is why or why not? Alright? Corvus Corax. Good evening, sir. This is John Spencer, your Facebook friend. Hi, John Spencer. Namaste, brother. Welcome. All right. So, yeah, if you don't mind, please answer the topic that I have posted. Just for us to have something to talk about, and then we'll carry the conversation then from that topic. All right, so the question is, first, do you believe that you are gods, like small letter G? Second, or the follow-up question would be why or why not? Okay. All right. Alright, so hello again sa lahat ng nandyan. I'm seeing here, hold on. We are all seven. Alright. Alright, so hi again to Dil. Okay. Medyo mahina yung internet, so pagpasensyahan nyo na. Yun. So here, according to Psalm 82 verse 6, nakasulat doon, I have said, you are gods and all of you are children of the Most High. This was about to be stoned to death by the Pharisees, or the religious authorities that time. He was about to be stoned to death because they said na, sir, for doing good things, um, we will not punish you. For healing, we will not punish you. However, we will punish you for claiming that you are God. Now take note, Jesus did not claim that he was God during that time. It was actually the people around him, his followers, who were really, trying to push that he was God. Now, Jesus did not answer yes or no. He didn't say, yes, I am God, or no, I am not a God. But what he said is that he quoted the verse coming from the book of Psalms. He said, I have said you are gods and all of you are children of the Most High. Sabi niya, is it not written in your law? I have said you are gods. So that was a pretty clever answer. All right? So, yun, what do you think about that? Delbert Carrillo, yes, I believe that I am a God, small letter G, as a child of God. Since we are a child of God, we are a God, small letter G. We as human beings are all reflection of God's glory. All right, very good. So, yes, thank you so much for your answer, Delbert Carrillo. So, yeah, in that sense, we are God with a small letter G, since we are child of God. So you are saying that since we are the children of God, therefore um, we are somewhat a kind of a lesser God, right? Because we're not using the capital letter G but the small letter G. We are a reflection of God's glory. Perhaps we are an extension, right? An extension of God's power here on earth. Yeah, very good. It's actually a good answer. Mini God? Delbert Carrillo, mini God? Perhaps a demi-God. Alright. Sino pa? Sino pang may ibang answer? Sino pang may ibang point of view about this specific topic? According to Delbert, um, we are a child of God. That's why we use the small letter G. Okay? So, how about others? John Spencer, I don't know, sir. It's just hard to think that I'm a God with small letter G. I'm not in control of many things, just like we're living in the mercy of fate. How can I believe that I'm a God? Yeah, pretty good point. And that's, oo nga naman, di ba? How can we say that we are God? We don't have control of many things, just like we're living in the mercy of fate. This is according to John Spencer. Ha? How can I believe that I'm a God? Right? So, yun. Um, that's actually the experience of most people here in this world, right? Um, there are things that we really don't have control of, and there's actually a difference between the things that we don't have control of and the things that we actually have control. However, it is because of our um, wrong decisions, or let's say bad decisions in life, that made it seem like things are not going our way. All right, so yeah, later on we will be discussing that further. So according to you, John Spencer, you don't know if you're God or not. It's hard to think because you don't have control of many things. Just like when you are living in the mercy of faith. So how can you believe that you are God, right? That's a pretty valid. Now, may I ask, John, what do you mean by we are living in the mercy of faith? Ano ibig sabihin mo dito? Is it we are living in the mercy of faith, like F-A-T-E, faith? By the way, thank you pala for dropping by. Thank you for sharing your answers. So, dun sa mga hindi pa sumasagot, please answer our topic first. Do you believe that you are gods? Yes or no? Second is that why or why not? All right? Okay. Kape-kape muna. Nasaan si Romel Andoy? Romel Andoy, are you here? Joanna Paula Marte, are you here? Yeah, let's have a discussion. Let's have a chit chat. All right, Romel Andoy, hi brother. Yeah, I'm actually waiting for your answer because earlier I saw your comment in one of my videos, and actually I think this was the same topic. That video speaks of we are gods, right? Romel, ano, bakit sa cellphone hindi nagpa-play yung live? Really? I don't know. Uh, are you on mobile? Lumipat. Okay. Sige. So, lumipat ka sa computer. Alright. No worries. So, right now, you are already on your computer. Okay. Good. Um, all good? Pwede na? Okay. So, yes, Romel, kanina, I saw your comment on one of my videos. And you've mentioned something about, being the being God, right? So yeah, can you please share your insights? Um, relating to that comment you had on my video earlier. You have a different take on that eh. Um, Sabi ni Delbert Carrillo, he believes that he is God because Corax or kay John. All right, hello, hello. I think the internet is back. Hello guys, are you still there? Uh, okay. All right, I think we're back. All right, Romel Andoy. All right, sana tayo. Okay. Sorry guys kasi yung internet ko kasi medyo mahina, yung wifi. Um, yun. Uh, yeah, okay. So, Romel Andoy, yeah, what's your take on this topic? Kasi sabi kanina ni Sir John Spencer, um, you don't know if he is a son of God or not, right? Because he is not in control of many things, just like we're living in the mercy of faith. So how can he believe that he is a God, right? So that's his answer. So what's your take on this, Sir Romel? All right. Okay. Romel Andoy. Nag-follow po ako sa madaming sikat na guru sa international at local at lahat po sila ay iisa lang ang sinasabi katulad ni Jaime Licauco dyan sa Makati at kay Nomer Mindmaster Lasala. Okay. So you've been following different gurus both internationally and locally. Okay. Yeah, pretty good. And iisa lang ang sinasabi nila. So ano pong sinasabi nila ni Sir Jaime Licauco at ni Mr. Nomer Mindmaster Lasala? So most of these international gurus that you are talking about, most of them are gurus from India, right? India or Tibet. Romel Andoy, one common denominator tungkol sa God pero iba-iba sila ng paliwanag. Okay. So what about God with a capital G? I mean, 'di ba? Even the mainstream religious even in the mainstream religions, Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, um, God is, the main topic, right? So, anong pinagkaiba nila sa, let's say, religions na mainstream? Ano ba yung sinasabi nila na sinasabi mo, iisa lang? Alright, hello. Hello sa lahat. May bago bang pumasok? Hello po sa inyo. Good evening. Namaste. So please, if you're here, drop a comment below. Please say hi or say anything you want to say. Alright. And by the way, may topic po tayo. The topic is, do you believe that you are gods? That is the first question. At yung follow-up question or second question natin is, why or why not? Why do you believe so, and why you don't believe in that specific notion? Okay. Alright, so may sagot ulit si Sir Romel Andoy. Like si Leo Gura gumagamit ng psychedelics, tapos si Ralph Smart ng Infinite Waters against sa psychedelics, pero pareho silang naniniwala sa non-duality at yung high self mo ay ang God. Lenny Acompañado. Hi everyone, I'm here, Joe. Hello, Father. Hi, Ma. Good evening. Uy, Clint Acera. May gabi eh. Good evening, brother. Alright, so hi everyone. Good day. Alright, so repeat ko lang yung yung topic. So the title of this live stream is, do you know that we are gods? This is actually taken from the book of Psalms 82 verse 6, because it states there that I have said you are gods and all of you are children of the Most High. And the same quote was used by Jesus when he was persecuted like 2000 years ago. He was about to be stoned to death, and when he was asked, why do you say that you are gods? He didn't say that yes, I'm a god, or no, I'm not a god. He just said, is it not written in your law, I have said you are gods? So yun, two questions. First, do you believe that you are gods? Second, why or why not? Alright, so according here, kay Sir Romel Andoy, he said, that he is a god with a small. By the way, Mama Lenny is from Dubai. Kala ne? Alright, ng actual kay Jaime Licao ko, dyan sa Greenbelt, Makati ka. Hello, alright. I think we're back. Sorry guys, the internet is really bad here in the Philippines, so sorry about that. Okay, Romel Andoy, gusto ko sana ma-experience ng actual kay Jaime Licao ko dyan sa Greenbelt, Makati, kaso lang sinisingil ako ng 4,000 pesos para sa past life regression. Tama ba? Okay. Okay. So, medyo madami na tayong napapag-usapan, no? Hindi naman tayo talaga lumalayo sa topic, pero medyo nade-derail tayo ng konti. So, focus muna tayo dun sa we are all gods, and then using of psychedelics, and then past life regression. All right. Let's start first with the using of psychedelics. Alright, so I'm trying to change the angle of my video para mas nakakasagap siya ng Wi-Fi. Hold on. Okay. Ganitong angle kaya. Good. What happened? Alright. Now it's fixed. Alright. Okay. Okay. Pasensya na po sa technical difficulties. Anyway, alright, sana tayo. Yes, Romel Andoy. Yun nga, sinasabi mo kanina, gusto mo sana ma-experience yung actual nung kay Sir Jaime Licao ko, di ba? Dun sa Greenbelt, kaso lang sinisingil ka ng 4,000 pesos for past life regression. Ngayon naman, sinasabi mo, mahal po kasi magpa-mentor kay Justin Pinon at Nomer Lasala kasi I really want to know God. Okay. Now, Okay, guys, thank you so much for all your answers. I just want to focus on this one and then, we'll proceed with our discussion. However, dun sa mga bago pa, ng mga kararating lang, guys, if you want to answer our topic, please do so. Pwede pong humabol. The question is, do you believe that you are gods, yes or no? And then, why and why not? Alright, okay. Dun muna tayo sa the concept of God. Um, God with the capital letter G and the small letter G na God. Um, Even in Greek philosophy at in the Eastern philosophies din sa mga Buddhists at mga Hindu, meron tayong tinatawag na the concept of higher self and lower self. It has been said that the higher self is actually the transcendent aspect of being a human, right? The transcendent self or this higher self is actually the self which is tied or connected to the source of life, um, the cosmic birther, right? Um, this is our true essence, the transcendent aspect of our very own being. However, we also have the lower self, and the lower self, this is the animalistic side of ourself. So the higher self, um, most of the time, capital letter S yung self, yung higher self. Well, the lower self, we call this the ego. This is the small letter S. All right. Now, um, in this material world, uh, most likely, it is the ego that is at work, right? Kasi when we are young, what we have is actually instincts, and instincts is actually animalistic, right? So when we were young, our ego is already being activated, and that is the one giving us that sense of security, a sense of let's say belongingness. Kasi itong ego kasi um, kung ano yung basic features, basic characteristics na nasa mga animals, yun din ang nasa ego. Because the ego, this is useful for survival, right? However, when we grow up and when we mature physically, we are also starting to mature mentally, emotionally, and also spiritually. So there will come a time whereby when this ego, this vessel, is already capable of grasping, let's say, higher spiritual truths, then this is the time wherein we, as human beings, we will start to see or have a glimpse of our higher selves. So, minsan, uh, hindi ito nangyayari in just one lifetime. Minsan, it will take several lifetimes for us to, have a realization that there is a transcendent aspect of being human. It's not just about eating, it's not just about having shelter, it's not just about having sex, it's not just about getting money. There is something higher, there's something transcendent within us. And that is where the concept of God comes in. The problem kasi with traditional religion is this. God kasi is being described in the traditional religion as something outside us, as something that is separated from us, something that is very far from us. And we need certain people for us to be connected to this God. or we need a certain organization to be connected to this God. And then the concept of that lofty place called heaven and that scary place where eternal torture will be happening called hell has been invented by different religious traditions to take control of our lives in general. Now, um, these religions that we are calling um, actually came from a pure spiritual experience that was interpreted by people and it crystallized and it became a religion. So, uh, going back, we have a transcendent aspect of our humanity, which is the spirit or the soul. And this is connected directly to the source, to the divine, to the cosmic birther. We call that God. Now, we are when we existed in this reality, in this world, in this physical dimension, we have our ego, we have the vessel, this animal self. This is the vessel for the divine to manifest. Does that mean that this body is bad? No. However, this body is dual in nature. And in order for us to have a direct experience with the divine or this source that we are connected to by means of our higher self, which is directly connected to the divine, um, we need to have we need to practice a specific spiritual path. Spiritual path, I'm not saying religion, but a spiritual path in order for us to be reunited with the divine or in order for us to know our true selves, our higher self. Alright? Because most of the time kasi, kaya hindi natin alam kung anong gagawin natin sa buhay natin. It's because we are just listening to the urges of our physical self, of our lower self, of our egoistic self. We are not looking at the guidance of the higher self. Now, we need to have a spiritual path that will guide us in a way that we will be able to tap to this higher self. But the problem is this. Religion kasi is a crystallization of spirituality. Religion started as a pure spiritual path. Someone had that profound spiritual experience in the past. Someone was awakened, spiritually awakened. Someone was enlightened in the past. And because of that awakening that happened to him or her, he was not able to describe that in words because the experience, the enlightening experience that you will have when you will have that direct connection with the divine is cannot be put into words. It's like you will be in that place of infinite bliss. You will be, how should I say this? It's an experience that you cannot put into words. That's just it. All right. Now, because of this profound reality that you cannot put this into words, people interpreted this. Kasi diba, may mga scriptures. Because people try to interpret the spiritual experience that this person has. Kaya nagkaroon ng scriptures. And then, scriptures being interpreted by the writers and being interpreted by the readers, and then so on. They created dogma, they created doctrine, and voila, churches were created, religions were created, and it caused division. Kasi itong isang taong to, iba yung interpretation niya sa experience ni ano. Ito namang isang taong to, iba yung interpretation niya sa experience ni ano. Right? But regardless of our religious tradition, if we follow the path of spirituality, not religion, but true spirituality, then we are able to tap to the source, we're able to tap to our higher selves. When we are able to tap to our higher selves, then we will have that guidance from within. Kaya nga, the different mystics from different religious traditions, hindi sila nag-aaway-away kahit iba-iba yung relihiyon nila because they have that specific experience that is very similar regardless of their religious tradition. Because when they follow the path of spirituality, it is just one and the same. Sabi nga, di ba? All path leads to God. Now, this will go to my next point, which is sinabi mo kanina, Sir Romel Andoy, na may isang, may isang guro, si Leo Gura, gumagamit siya ng psychedelics. Tapos si Ralph Smart, he is against psychedelics. Now, we are not here to judge the use of psychedelics, or we're not trying to say that people who use psychedelics are bad, or the people who don't use psychedelics but have a natural experience with the divine is good. However, we'll just try to look at things as rational as possible. Okay? Ganito yon. In order for us to attune to the divine, there are certain methods, right? I have discussed this in my other videos about mindfulness, right? About silencing the mind, about controlling our thoughts, our emotions through meditation, so that our thoughts will not bother us anymore. And then the thoughts of the divine, or the thoughts of God, will be able to manifest within us. And then we will have that guidance that we are needing. Okay, so the effects of psychedelics, all right, the effects of psychedelics can actually be experienced by anyone who is not using psychedelics, because for example, the usage of cannabis, we do have cannabinoid receptors in our brains. We know that. That's why when someone smokes or eats cannabis that has THC or CBD, in a way, it has an effect on us. It silences the mind, and we will be in that trance state if you are using that. However, the monks, the Buddhist monks, and also some Hindu monks who are really great meditators, who've been different years of meditation, actually are experiencing the same euphoric experience, or the same euphoria, without using rather psychedelics. All right, so the same effect, different methods. I remembered when I was researching before about meditation. Meditation kasi has different approaches. Depende din yan sa temperament ng tao. Depende din yan sa kung ano yung personality mo. Depende din kung saan yung inclination mo. Sometimes meditation can be dancing, if you are really a passionate dancer. Sometimes meditation can be painting and all those, creative work that you do. So, meditation can also be in the form of ingesting psychedelics or smoking psychedelics, or simply just sitting and focusing on your breathing. So it's like entering a house. You can enter the house using the front door, you can enter the house using the window, you can enter the house using the back door. But once you are inside the house, it really doesn't matter kung saan ka dumaan. Right? Okay. Now, I think the only problem with psychedelics is you may get addicted because of psychedelics. It is not the psychedelic that is bad, it is the addiction towards it that is bad, because it somewhat changes the wirings of our brain in a way na oh, hindi ka na nagiging masaya pag hindi ka nakakapag-marijuana, right? So you will not be happy anymore if you are not smoking or eating that psychedelic stuff. So you can't have any spiritual experience while if you are not using that specific psychedelic, right? So um, I think what we need to do is that if you are in that path of psychedelics, I mean, that's your path. We respect that. I respect that personally. But the thing is, you know, we also need to try to recreate the same experience without the use of psychedelics. And for those who are not using psychedelics, then also, of course, that is also your path. Then continue with it, and train your mind, train to control your mind, and train how to access this higher self, this connection with the divine within you. All right. Uh, Romel Andoy, mahal kasi magpa-mentor kay Justin Pinon at Nomer Lasala kasi I really want to know God. You really want to know God, ha? Kapag lumapit ka kasi sa mga sikat tulad nila, Ate Ana de la Cruz at Ed Calawag, kailangan yun ang budget. Okay. Now, okay ha. This is somewhat, sorry, I'm not laughing at you. Alright, Romel Andoy, are you still there? Brother, I'm not laughing at you. I'm actually merely frowning to the fact that there are there are fees, right, that you need to pay uh, a huge sum of money just to know God. Parang this reminds me of mainstream religions. This reminds me of mainstream churches, right? Ganun din. You need to give tithes sa simbahan. And when you are approaching these people, you also need to pay. Well, maybe because of the services they offer, maybe because of the things that they use, or perhaps you know, uh, the tools that they are using, maybe the methods, uh, you know, of course, because there needs to be also an exchange of energy. If you are wanting to get someone else's service, right? However, brother, you actually don't need to pay that huge amount just to know God. You know what I'm saying? Um, I know what you feel, because when I was in that path of seeking, actually until now, I am still in that path of seeking. I really wanted to have a mentor. I really wanted to have a guru. But it seems that wala talaga ako nakikitang guru, especially dito sa Cagayan de Oro. What you can see here is, mainstream religions, at pag lumapit ka sa kanila, they will indoctrinate you, they will let you join their church. And when you join their church, you cannot look at outside the doctrines, outside the dogmas of their church. So yun. Meron din ako experience na because of really seeking this spiritual stuff, because I really, really wanted to know God, napasali ako sa isang kulto. And I thought that the leader of this kulto is really the Christ of this age. Kasi, lagi kasi nilang sinasabi na, when the student is ready, the master will appear. Now, that quote is very, very old already. When the student is ready, the master will appear. So, of course, when I was still in the path, bago pa lang ako nun, I just discovered what is enlightenment, what is awakening, that we are all gods, and we are all waking up to our true nature, being the gods and goddesses of this world, that we have this unlimited potential, that if we are only able to tap to our higher self, we can bring forth the blessings of God, we can bring forth the knowledge of God, and we will be able to manifest that here in this world. And so I really wanted to have a guru or a mentor who will guide me for that. Unfortunately, the guru was a fake. um, Marami fake gurus. May mga guru na namimera lang. May mga guru na delusional. Akala nila talaga may power sila pero wala. May mga gurus din na talagang may alam but they are actually, let's say, dark masters. They want to control people and they want you to serve them. They will be feeding on your energy and they will get your blind loyalty so that you will be with them forever. Kayo yung magiging kayo yung mag-feed ng energy sa kanila. Alright. So, what I'm trying to say is that when the student is ready, the master will appear. It is not literal. Hindi yun literal na pag ready ka na, when you are already awakened, may dadating na master. Na literal na tao ha. Actually, it's not like that. The master or the guru is actually within you. That is your higher self. When the student is ready, meaning once you are, once something in you has been ignited, once something in you has started to be awakened, then that's the time wherein you will meet the master. And the master is actually your higher self. When the student is ready, the master will appear. Meaning, when you are ready, the master within you will start to manifest. And that master will be your intuition. Alright? It is your guide. Intuition kasi is different from instinct. Instinct is the animalistic way of knowing things na, animal instinct. Kapag sinaktan ka, automatic, either tatakbo ka or lalabanan mo yun, fight or flight. Yan yung instinct eh. Pag medyo maliit yung kalaban, lalabanan mo. Pag medyo malaki, takbo ka. Intuition is somewhat like that. However, intuition is a higher form of instinct. Intuition is actually the instinct of our higher self. So, once you have developed that connection with the divine, you also develop intuition. So intuition is your higher instinct. It's your spiritual instinct. So what will happen is like this. Every experience in your life, every person that you meet, everything that happens to you, regardless if it's good or bad in your perspective, it becomes your teacher. Kahit yung Avon catalog, kahit yung FHM magazine, kahit yung billboard na makikita mo dyan sa highway, kahit yung breakup mo with your girlfriend or boyfriend, it becomes a learning experience. It becomes your teacher. Because when the student is ready, the master, the teacher, your guru will appear. Right? So, my advice is this. Don't bother finding let's say a spiritual master or a guru because you want to know God. Knowing God, or in our term, gnosis, is internal. The path is within. If you will look for someone to follow, this is the danger. If you follow someone, you will fail to follow the God, the guru, the master that is actually within you. Ganun din naman kasi yung nangyayari sa mga simbahan. Ganun din nangyayari sa mga religion. um, I remembered Jiddu Krishnamurti. Jiddu Krishnamurti was actually uh, hailed by the Theosophical Society in India to become the next world teacher. It was predicted that Jiddu Krishnamurti daw, he will become the second Christ here in this world. He will be the reincarnation of the Christ, the Buddha, because Jiddu Krishnamurti, um, he is, let's say, the most qualified vessel, right, to become the vessel of an enlightened soul, of an old soul, of an ascended master. That's what they call it. However, when Jiddu Krishnamurti came of age and the whole Theosophical Society was ready to reveal the identity of the next world teacher, when Jiddu Krishnamurti was being declared the Theosophical Society that, hey, this is the next Christ, this is the world teacher who will teach us enlightenment. And then he was presented to the people. Jiddu Krishnamurti stood there. And there was already an order that was created. It's called Order of the Star. And he was like the greatest teacher in that order. And you know, the Theosophical Society was really, really proud of him because they thought that they have already created the next Christ. Because of meditations, because of yoga, you know, lahat ng spiritual practices pinagawa nila kay Jiddu Krishnamurti when he was growing up so that his body will become prepared to become the next world teacher. But what happened is that when Jiddu Krishnamurti stood there, he had a speech, a very wonderful speech. It was very long, but it can be summarized into these few words. He said, today I will dissolve or I will disband the Order of the Star. So everyone was like, bakit mo wawasakin itong order na ginawa mo or na ginawa ng Theosophical Society? And then he said, I am not the world teacher because the true teacher, the real teacher is within you. And this is what he said. Very, very wonderful. When you start following me or when you start following someone, you will stop following the guide that is within you. That is very, very powerful. Those words are very powerful. And indeed, when Jiddu Krishnamurti disassociate himself with, when Jiddu Krishnamurti removed himself from the Theosophical Society and he started, traveling all over the world, and he was in a way preaching. That's the main content of his messages. And Jiddu Krishnamurti actually ignited the hearts of the people. Those who really understood him realized that the God that they are looking for, the guru that they are looking for, the master that they are looking for is actually within them. And it is not him. But of course, Jiddu Krishnamurti was such a great man. I would really say that he is an enlightened being. And that's the greatest quality of a true enlightened being or a true enlightened master, because he will not claim that he is God. He will not claim that he is a guru. He will not claim that he is a master. What he said is, follow the master within you. Follow that light within you. Because when you start following me, following someone, you will stop following the light that is within you. All right? And this reminded me of another Buddhist quote. If you meet the Buddha on the road, kill the Buddha. Meaning, if someone will claim that he is the Buddha, that he is your guru or he is your master, run away from that person, right? It's just, ano lang yun, it's just para bang metaphor or allegory na if you meet the Buddha on the road, kill the Buddha, because the real Buddha will not say that he is the Buddha. You will just know it. You will just feel it, right? So all awakened masters, all enlightened masters never claim that they were God, or um, they were Buddha, or they were the guru, or they were the masters. That you need to worship them. However, you will see that in their actions. You will see that uh, the way they talk, the way they move, the way they attract people. Now, um, in connection with the topic we have today, we are gods. That's why I am giving emphasis that we are gods. All of us, all the human beings here in this world, we're actually gods with a small letter G, because we are the vessel of the God with a big letter G. And God cannot express himself or herself fully in just one person. So that's why we are here in this world as vessels of this God. So just try to think of God as the electricity, and then we are the light bulbs here uh, in your house, right? So if God is the electricity, the same electricity that powers the light on your bathroom is the same electricity that lights on your bedroom or that lights in your living room. So we think, these lights are different because they are located in different places in your house, right? But truth is, if you try to dissect, if you try to look within the light bulb, the light that is within there is actually just the same energy. It's just one energy. It's just a flowing stream of energy. And that is also true with God, because God is just the flowing consciousness, the energy consciousness that encompasses everything in the universe. And we are just conduits, we are just receivers. Our physical body, this is just containers. Just try to imagine if God is the coffee inside my cup, we are the cup. So if I will make a coffee na marami, let's say 1 liter of coffee, and I will pour it into different cups, it's just the same coffee, it's just being distributed in different cups. And once I taste this cup with coffee in it, the taste is the same with the other cups. Kasi nga, they are just one and the same coffee na tinimpla ko. Alright? Romel Andoy, nag-subscribe po ako sa Gaia channel at napanood ko si Matias De Stefano. Nagtuturo siya ng Akashic Records. Totoo po ba na may mga tao na may access sa Akashic Records? Akashic Records. So the Akashic Records is a concept. It's a very Eastern concept, no? Akashic Records is somewhat the database of the universe. That's what they say, because yung universe kasi parang computer eh. It's form of energy consciousness. So there is energy and there is consciousness, or there is information. Kung isipin natin yan, para yan data. Diba? Data is energy and information. The whole universe is made up of energy consciousness. So parang ganun din yung concept. Now, according to that theory, the whole universe actually has a record of everything that happens. So if there is a person who will be able to access the Akashic records, then that person will be able to have a better clarity when it comes to his or her decisions in life, or perhaps in his or her path. However, the Akashic Records kasi is very complex. It is very complicated. Kaya kung minsan may mga tao na may access sa Akashic Records, hindi lamang buhay nila ang nabibigyan ng linaw, kundi pati na rin ang buhay ng ibang tao. The prophets are able to access the Akashic Records. And there are some mystics who are also being able to access the Akashic Records. And in a way, they bring forth this information and they are able to guide people here in this world. And ganito yan. Akashic Records kasi, you need to understand that time is not linear. So, ang nasa Akashic Records is the records of infinite, remember infinite possible pasts and infinite possible futures. So, if someone is able to access the Akashic Records, ano kasi yan, magiging overload yan sa utak mo. Hindi mo talaga pwede yung ma-access lahat-lahat at once. Kaya, yung minsan, I think napapanood mo to sa TV, napapanood nyo tong lahat sa TV, na may mga tao na ganito ang hula. Mamamatay ka after 3 days, parang ganun. Or maghihirap ka, parang ganun. Tapos, of course, the person who knew that information, sinabihan ng tao na may access sa Akashic Records, sinabi niya, you will be poor or you will die or something like that. So that person can prepare, and in a way, yung hula sa kanya hindi nagkatotoo. So does that mean hindi yun totoo yung hula sa kanya? Kasi nga kasi hindi nagkatotoo, meaning hindi totoo yung nakita ng manghuhula sa vision niya. Actually, hindi. Totoo yun. But it is one of the possible futures na pwedeng mangyari sa taong yun. However, if that person will make a different decision moving forward in his life, then that specific event will not materialize, will not happen. Alright? So yun. So, Romel Andoy, ang may papayo ko lang sa iyo, bro, is this. Continue seeking and never believe in anything unless you have experienced it firsthand. Yun yung sabi ng Buddha. Do not believe in anything because you have heard it somewhere or you have seen it somewhere or somebody told you. Dagdagan ko na rin, no? Don't believe in anything just because you've watched it in a video or someone said it. Even if I said it, do not believe in it, not unless you have a first-hand experience, because that is spirituality, that is gnosis, that is knowing. You yourself will have the experience. Not because I tell it to you, you believe it. Diba? So, wala na rin tayong pinagkaiba sa traditional religion, sa mainstream religion. You are relying on someone else's experience that you may interpret differently, which you may interpret in a wrong manner, instead of you having that personal experience. Romel Andoy, do you believe in non-duality? Pasensya na, maraming tanong. It's alright, brother. So, do I believe in non-duality? Well, on my experience, on my spiritual experience, it seems to me that it is only us who is actually labeling things. It is our mind kasi who is trying to put everything in a box. For example, in ancient times, the gods and goddesses of the Egyptians or the Greeks or even the Hindu people. Our mind kasi cannot fathom the immense mysteries of God. So, di ba, how can you imagine that the same God of life is the God of death? That the God of love is the God of war? That the God of justice is also the God of wrath, right? So, because of that, it is parang automatic yun sa human psyche, sa ating human consciousness to create something out of it, to create something that will make sense. That's why I will create my idea of the son of I will create a God of love. This is the God of wisdom. This is the God of wrath. This is the God of the underworld, so on and so forth. All right, but these are just different interpretations of the same God, right? Um, Yun nga sinasabi nila na sa Bible daw, the God of the Old Testament is an evil God. It is an ignorant God. It is the demiurge. While the God of the New Testament is a different God. It's a more loving God. It is the real God. But if we really try to think of it, the Bible is not a document the Bible is not a set of documents that is written by God. However, it was scriptures. It were scriptures. It was books that were written, or it was a literature written by people who are seeking God. So it is not God that changed through time from Old Testament to New Testament. However, it is the consciousness of the people. It is the hearts of the people. It is the understanding of the people that change through time. Diba in the Old Testament, sinabi doon, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. However, when Jesus came during the New Testament, he said, if someone slaps your right face, bigay mo yung kaliwa. If someone steals your jacket, give them your t-shirt. Pag binato ka ng bato, batuhin mo ng tinapay. It's not God that changed through time. However, it was the consciousness of the people. It was the hearts of the people. It was the understanding of the people that changed through time. So, if you ask me, do I believe in non-duality? Well, the answer for me is yes, because that is based on my experience. It's based on my spiritual practice. When I am observing myself, actually, good and evil is just part of the same coin. That's my take on it. Isang piso, hindi magiging piso ang piso kung wala siyang hari, wala siyang face, at wala siyang heads, wala siyang tails, right? So, this coin became a coin by not judging its one side. Romel Andoy, question again. Do you believe in reincarnation? It is more plausible, or it is more logical to believe in reincarnation than to believe in an eternal hell or eternal suffering. And there has been several studies on it. There has been people who said that they were already born in the past and then they were reincarnated today, and well documented yan ng science. So there is a there are evidences or there are claims that has been proven na totoo yun. Like, for example, one kid, sabi niya, he was a pilot of a specific airplane and he was just very young, and then um, the parents of that kid was watching TV, tapos may sinabi yung reporter about a specific part of an airplane, tapos tumawa yung bata, sabi niya, mali yan, hindi naman yan mali yung uh, mali yung pangalan na sinabi ng reporter about that specific part or area of that airplane. And the parents were shocked because they did not expose their kid into any airplane parts or whatsoever. Then they realized that yung anak pala nila was a reincarnation of a World War II veteran who died in war. So yun. But do I believe in reincarnation? For me, I will not say that I believe in reincarnation. What I would say is that it is more logical to believe in reincarnation. And I hope that reincarnation is true, right? It's not something that I would say that, oh, yeah, it is really true that incarnation exists. But if you come to think of it, if you really study Jewish scriptures, if you study Kabbalah, Kabbalah is a form of is an ancient form of Jewish mysticism. The Kabbalists, the early Jews, even Jesus, they believed in reincarnation. They call it Gilgulum, or the transmigration of the soul. The transmigration of the soul, or the Jewish reincarnation, is very similar to the Buddhist and Hindu concept of reincarnation. So they have what they call the klipot, or husks. These husks is actually the accumulated karma. So the soul needs to be purified through reincarnation, and the eternal flame the flame that is commonly used by churches to justify hell, that there is a burning fire and whatnot. In medieval times kasi, fire is used as a symbol of purification. So di ba today when we say hell, when we say there is fire, it means that we will be tortured, we will be burned forever in that in that lake of fire. But if we really try to analyze, if we will put our eyes in the medieval times, iba yung ibig sabihin ng fire. It means purification. So the flames of hell will burn you, but it will not burn you as a whole. It will only burn which is impure. Because diba, we are all created by God. We are all light beings. However, due to our karma, we have accumulated this, different karma in our bodies, right? In our chakras, in our energy centers. Now, when we go back to the light, kung babalik tayo sa liwanag, sa ating true nature, of course, susunugin tayo ng liwanag. However, we are light. Hindi tayo masusunog. But our impurities, that is the one who will be burned. Kaya, dun sa mga spiritual seekers, first you will have that level of awakening. And then you start seeking or following a specific path. The internal path. You start meditating, started doing things, started doing good things to others, good karma, etc., etc. But what happens next is that you will experience what we call the dark night of the soul. Because once you go back to light, light will actually burn all your impurities. And so you will be facing your demons. You will be facing all these things that you tried to suppress. This will all resurface. And this is one of the it's not really dangerous, but somewhat it's part of the spiritual path that you will really experience hardships and turmoils, because once you follow the light, this light will actually burn you, but it will only burn uh, those that are not pure in you. So just like Shiva, the Hindu god Shiva. Shiva is the god of destruction, but Shiva will only destroy what is not pure in you. Ashley Borja. Yes, me too. I do believe in duality. How can we breathe kapag puro exhale? Bro, baka non-duality. It is just oneness. Kasi kung puro exhale ka lang, hindi naman pwede. How can you breathe? Puro exhales ka lang. That's a good one. Romel Andor, is your third eye open? May bukas ba? So, is my third eye open? Why? We need to understand that the chakras in our body, all of them are open, because um, you will not function if they are not open. However, maybe what you are trying to ask is if it's active or is it dormant, right? Because the the third eye kasi, or the pineal gland, um, that is the seat of wisdom, no? And the pineal gland is actually, or the third eye, the Ajna chakra, that is where we, get to experience or get to appreciate the finer things in life, or let's say the simple things in life that most people don't tend to appreciate. So the third eye kasi, the third eye kasi, sorry, the third eye kasi, um, it's not really closed or open, because it is there, right? It is there. It is part of your seven chakras. Um, Other people, this is already activated, while other people, this is still dormant, but it is there, right? Um, ang nangyayari kasi, yung ibang tao, pinipilit nilang buksan yung third eye nila. Ang hindi nabubuksan ang heart chakra. Take note ha. Kailangan bumukas muna ang heart chakra bago i-open yung third eye chakra, because it is in the heart chakra where you are able to discern between good or evil, according to the ancient document called Sefer Yetzirah. The heart chakra, all right, the heart chakra is dual in nature. It has an evil inclination and a good inclination. It has the Yetzer Hara, which is the evil inclination, and the Yetzer Hatov, which is the good inclination. Now, if a person will open the heart chakra first, that is when the person most likely becomes an empath. And then once the heart chakra is activated, that is the time where the third eye chakra is going to be activated as well. So if you are, let's say, an initiate, or let's say you are following that path of light and love, once the third eye is activated, after your heart chakra is activated, you will not see ghosts. You will not see these scary things. What you will be seeing is visions of, let's say, angelic beings. Um, you will see visions of, you know, great things. So once this is activated, after activating your heart chakra, it is very, very beneficial to you because you will be guided accordingly with this wisdom. But, yun nga, may mga techniques kasi para ipa-activate ito nang hindi nabubuksan o hindi na-activate si heart chakra. So, that's where the problem happens. Because when it becomes activated without activating this, yun na, i-hunt ka na ng mga entire being because it is in the heart kasi where it all happens. It is the center. Diba? May three chakras tayo sa taas, may three chakras sa baba. Heart is actually the center. So we have the lower universe and the higher universe. That's how the Hindus call it. Romel Andoy, so do you need to activate the 7 chakras to be enlightened or to be awakened? Now, yun nga, different spiritual traditions teach different things about this. For the Advaita Vedanta, they said that activation of the chakras is not important because enlightenment is actually being in the present moment. Enlightenment is being in the now. So once you are in that present moment where you are not thinking about the past or you're not thinking of the future, you will be in that present moment, then that is where enlightenment lies. While the Shaivites or the Kashmir Shaivites, they also believe that the Kundalini awakening is very important. You need to activate the 7 chakras in order for you to ascend. But you will know once you get there. That's my point. To Advaita Vedanta kasi, ang path nila is ganito. When you are meditating, the oldest way of meditation is meditation by breathing. So when you breathe in, you breathe out, you breathe in, you breathe out. Our mind kasi is like an annoying monkey. Our mind is very noisy. It's like a wave, right? So we need to silence our minds in order for us to, be attuned to the universe or to God. Now, in order for us to be attuned to the universe or to be attuned to God, you need to silence the mind. But how can you do that? We have like 20,000 thoughts a day. So what we need to do is we need to silence it. We need to have just one single thought to focus on. Para pag nakafocus na doon yung mind natin, hindi na siya nag-move, and then we are able to access the divine. Because it's impossible to stop the mind from thinking. It will always think. However, you need to manage to just think of one thought. And, di ba, yun nga minsan, sabi ko kanina, when you are passionately dancing, there is a point there na parang hindi ka na sumasayaw. It seems like you enter in that state of oneness. You are not dancing, you become the dance itself. And there's that 0.0001 millisecond na parang it seems like eternity, it seems like infinity, it seems like forever. And then you proceed with your movements. So ganon din sa meditation. When you focus on your breathing in, breathing out, once there's a thought that comes into your mind, do not push it away, but also do not entertain it. Just let it flow. Just let the thoughts flow. If you see yourself thinking of something, focus on breathing. Breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Just focus on your breathing, because according to them, no, there is that specific gap in between breathing in and breathing out. There's that 0.0000001 millisecond wherein it seems like you are not thinking. There's no thought. That's the 0 point field, the thoughtlessness state. And that that tiny part of that experience, when you enter into that state, it seems like it is forever. It seems like it's infinite. It is where the cradle of creation lies. It is where uh, God is situated. And once you are in that experience, you will not be able to explain what kind of experience is that, because that experience is very profound, and that is samadhi. According to them, that is samadhi. That is where enlightenment dwells. So according to Advaita Vedanta, um, those people who became uh, the world's greatest teachers, like for example Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha, or Christ, or Krishna, or whoever is that enlightened being in the past, they were people who managed to expand that 0.00001 millisecond experience that they had into an experience that they are having even though their eyes are open. They are connected with their higher selves while being in that physical body, while being in that, that moment. So in Advaita Vedanta kasi, they do not focus much on the chakras or whatnot. Enlightenment is right here, right now. It is being on the present moment, not thinking of the future, not thinking of the past, but being in the now. All right? So I hope that answered your question. So do you need to activate the seven chakras to be enlightened or to be awakened? Well, those are the two concepts that I have shared with you. Ash Dibora, what do you think about semen retention? May effects ba siya sa spiritual journey? Well, for sure, yes, because um, sexual energy is also spiritual energy. Like just like any kind of energy in your body, if you are in a way using it in a different manner, then you can convert that energy, you can transmute that energy rather. So instead of using your sexual energy for, let's say, yeah, for whatever it is that you are trying to do, and use it for creative work, then why not? That is very very powerful. But what do you mean about semen retention? It is semen retention during sexual intercourse, or the semen retention, do you mean like no masturbation for like several days? Or do you mean that you will still engage in a sexual act, however, you will not ejaculate in a way? Alright. Sino pa? Um, so, sino pa bang nandito? Nandito pa ba si Delbert Carillo, si John Spencer, uh, Romel Andoy, nandito pa si Romel. Okay, nandito pa siguro lahat. Alright, good. Um, Do you believe na Anunnaki yung God na tinutukoy sa Bible based sa Book of Enoch na hindi sinama sa Bible? Lenny, ako pa. Hi Ma. Hello there. Thank you for joining us. John Spencer present. Oh bro, magsalita ka naman dyan bro. Alright. Okay. Romel Andoy, do you believe in Anunnaki yung God na tinutukoy sa Bible? Well, it's like this. I am not closing my mind, alright? I'm not closing my mind and my heart about the Anunnakis or stuff. However, here's my take on that. Kung totoong may Anunnaki or wala, what can you do? What good or what will you benefit from it? Ako kasi, I am focusing right here, right now, today. Because if you come to think of it, no? During sa course of human evolution, there's a missing link. Para bang yung evolution ng mga Homo erectus is somewhat dumiretso. Parang biglang nag-shift yung itsura ng mga ape-like creatures na naging tao. Right? So, what happened is that it's a mystery, right? And we really don't know what happened. And I'm not sure if we will know or we will not know. But it's also good to think that maybe something happened. Maybe there were really aliens and, you know, they have genetically modified humans. Or maybe it's just natural selection. Nag-evolve lang talaga tayo. It could also mean that pwede na yung nasa Book of Enoch is they are real angels. Pwede din na they are aliens. Right? You know, the possibilities are infinite. Or pwede rin na it's just a product of someone else's imagination. Or pwede rin na it's a metaphor. It's, you know, it's meant to teach us a lesson that's not literally stated there, right? Not literally stated there. However, maraming it has a different meaning that we still need to decipher. All right? Okay. Sino pa to? Mama Lenny, you're most welcome. Thank you, Ma. Thank you. Ash Deborah, celibacy pusa. Well, yeah, if you really choose to be celibate, then, you know, why not? Semen retention kasi, sexual energy is spiritual energy. And you need to remember that that is your sacral chakra, all right? So if you are doing semen retention, there is a specific effect on your body. You will become more attractive. In a way, you will become how should I put this? You will have a more magnetic personality. That's for sure. And yeah, just make sure that you do not waste your energy, all right? But I'm also not judging people who are not celibate, right? Like me, I'm married, but I also have what we call the vow of chastity. So for us kasi, for me, I follow the vow of chastity, like keeping the keeping the sexual act sacred and holy. So I remain faithful with just one partner, and that is my wife. Alright, John Spencer, sarap niyo pakinggan, Pads. Gusto ko lang makinig. Parang disipulo ni Jesus, nakikinig lang, haha. Grabe ka naman, bro. So, we are all learners, we are all seekers here, right? And even those people whom we call masters or guru or whoever, they are also seekers like us. However, they were able to manage, or they were able to tap into their higher self, into their higher sense of consciousness. That's why they were able to guide us. But you will know a true guru from a fake guru, because a true guru will really tell you that do not follow me, but follow the Christ within you, or follow the Buddha within you, follow Brahma within you, follow Shiva within you, follow Allah within you. So you will know a true mystic from different religious traditions once they say that, or once they show you that, and they will not tell you to follow them, because they know that when you follow them, you will stop following the light that is within you. Romel Andoy, so bakit po hindi sinali yung Book of Enoch sa Bible? Actually bro, hindi lang ang Book of Enoch ang wala sa Bible. Marami pa mga books na wala sa Bible. Especially the Gnostic Gospels, the Gospel of the Jubilees, yung nasa Gnostic Gospels, Gospel of Judas, Gospel of Philip, Gospel of Mary Magdalene, meron ding Gospel of Peter, meron ding Gospel of Thomas, which is my favorite. So bakit po hindi sinali yung Book of Enoch sa Bible? Madami pang mga books na hindi sinali sa Bible. It's because Constantine the Great, during the year 323 AD, he wanted to unify his country, which is Rome. Kasi sa time na yun, yung Rome medyo nagkawatak-watak na. So he needed to unify everything and everyone. So what he did, marami kasing gods and goddesses sa Rome. May mga followers si Saturn, si Jupiter, sino pa yung mga gods and goddesses nila. However, there is also a group of quote-unquote Christians, hindi Christians but Christians, na nasa Rome. And so, because Constantine the Great wanted to create a one religion, he called the different bishops of different churches. And he said, oh, bigay niyo sa akin yung scriptures niyo. I want to read everything. And Constantine the Great was shocked because different disciples of Jesus, by the way, this is 323 AD. This is more likely 4 or 5 generations after the death of Jesus. So the bishops that are present on that time are already descendants of the original apostles. So he was surprised because different apostles or different groups of Christians actually have different scriptures. Sa Gospel ni Thomas, bida si Thomas. Sa Gospel ni Judas, bida si Judas. Sa Gospel ni Philip, bida si Philip, and so on. So, these different books, sinabi ni Constantine the Great, uy, ayusin nyo yan. Ayusin nyo yan. It's because if we want to establish this country, we need to have one religion. So, ginawa nila, doon nangyari yung great editing of the Bible. Hindi pa pala great editing. Doon na-formulate ang idea of Bible. The word Bible came from the word Biblios, which means a compilation of books. Alright? So, that's what the Bible means. It's a compilation of different scriptures. So, yung mga hindi nagme-make sense na God si Jesus, tapon. Alright? So, it should be coherent in a way na may creation, Genesis, the history of the people of God, and then the preparation of the coming of the Messiah, and then the coming of the Messiah, which is God, and so on. So yun. Sa time kasi ni Constantine the Great, different yung beliefs ng mga tao. Other Christian groups believe in reincarnation. Other Christian groups believed in eternal damnation. Other Christian groups believed in temporary hell. So, yun. Kaya, gumawa sila ng paraan para maging unified yung teachings ng Christianity. Gumawa siya ng Bible. And this is orthodoxy. At kung sinong hindi sumunod dito, will be considered heretic. And if you're heretic, you will either be killed or you will be thrown in a faraway land na walang pagkain, walang tubig. At doon ka na mamamatay. So, yun. So, don't be shocked kung maraming libro ang hindi sinali sa Book of Enoch. Huwag kang ma-shock kung bakit maraming libro ang hindi sinali sa Bible. Because the Bible was actually a political agenda. It's not much of a spiritual guidance na, oh, the Bible is really written by God. That's BS. The Bible is not written by God. The Bible is a collection of documents written by people who were seeking God. All right? Hold on. Romel Andoy, do you believe po na maraming hindi totoo sa Bible dahil may dagdag bawas na dahil na damage na yung original handwritten script katulad ng Dead Sea Scrolls? Okay. Don't mix the Dead Sea Scrolls with the Bible because it's a different scroll. The Dead Sea Scrolls were actually written by the Essene Brotherhood. The Dead Sea Scroll came from how should I put this? Okay, ganito na lang. Do you believe na maraming hindi totoo sa Bible? You need to understand kasi that the Bible is not literal. Or in a way, madami kasing nangyari when the Bible was created. For example, medyo gabi na. It's already 12:27 a.m. Okay. For example, sa New Testament, na pag-usapan natin ang New Testament. The New Testament actually has the four Gospels in the New Testament. We have Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. If you try to look at Matthew, Mark, and Luke, these three, it's called Synoptic Gospels. Synoptic means they are similar. These Gospels are similar. Yung iba, may halos yung story is just the same, but it has in this book it has a different variation on the ending. In this book is different variation and so on. And the book of John is different because it's written in a different way. So Bible scholars would know that. Sa pagsusulat kasi walang scripture na sinulat ang original apostles, or at least wala pa tayong nakikita ang original scripture na sinulat nila. However, according to Bible scholars, by the way, right now I am currently taking my master's in divinity, and ito talagang scrolls, itong New Testament, itong teachings, the pre-Christian teachings of Jesus or Yeshua. This is the things that we are studying right now. So this is not more of a spiritual discussion, but if we will dive deep into this will be more of a biblical scholarship discussion, because the three synoptic gospels is actually written in a way that they are similar. They have this what we call the Q document, they call it the source document, which they cannot find it until now. Because similar kasi itong tatlong gospels na to. So they were trying to look at where is the original. And according to research, according to study, no, the Gospel of Mark was the original gospel. Mark, tapos kinopya lang ang Mark. Tapos yung Matthew and Luke were just copies of Mark. However, it evolved, parang it changed through time because these writings were passed down from different groups of people through time. So yun, tapos meron pa yung tinatawag na pseudepigrapha. Kahit for example, the book of Isaiah. The book of Isaiah has actually 3 parts. Akala natin na the book of Isaiah was actually just written by Isaiah. But how would Isaiah write about his death if he's already dead that time, right? So the book of Isaiah has 3 parts. So the original, which is most likely written by the prophet Isaiah himself, was actually what they call the proto-Isaiah, or the first part of the book of Isaiah. And then the second part, we have the Deutero-Isaiah, which is most likely written a generation after the prophet Isaiah. It was just parang dinugtong lang siya. Tapos may Trito-Isaiah, the last part of the book of Isaiah. So meaning, these scriptures were written in a way na kahit wala na si Prophet Isaiah, but since yung sumunod sa kanya, they still follow the same path or the same school of thought process ni Prophet Isaiah. They follow the same, let's say, guideline or the same spiritual ideology. So yun, but hindi na yun talaga original writings ng Prophet Isaiah. Even in the New Testament, there are some epistles of Paul which are not really written by by Saint Paul, because basing on the writing style and even the grammar, it is not like Paul. So if you really want to have a more in-depth discussion of that, then maybe we can have a different session on that. But there are so many things to be talked about the Bible, because first 2,000 years ago na yung scriptures na yan, and those scriptures were written by different people for different purposes, and we don't know ilang versions na yan bago pa nakarating sa atin. Even the first English translation, the King James Version, ang dami ng errors. Because language, you need to understand that language is actually culture. Nakatay diyan sa culture yung language. So for example, there are words that cannot be translated from this language to the next language. For example, how will you translate remote control sa Filipino? How will you translate toothpaste in Filipino? How will you translate roller coaster in Filipino? Di ba wala? Because those things were not created dito sa atin in the Philippines, right? So those words only make sense to the people who understood those. For example, in the Bible there is a saying there that Jesus said, "Woe unto you, hypocrites." That's the English translation. Jesus used the word hypocrites. But if we will go back to the original word used, it is not hypocrite, but the most appropriate translation would be, "Woe unto you, self-righteous." Now, being self-righteous and being a hypocrite are two different things, right? Because hypocrisy means nagpapa-as if ka na ganito ka, where in fact hindi ka ganyan. That's hypocrisy, right? However, self-righteousness is different. Self-righteousness is justifying all your actions to be righteous because you are a righteous person. right? So two different things. So we need to remember that Jesus was a Jew, and we need to follow Jewish context if we are, talking about the words or actions of Jesus. But looking into that, just that one word ha, so naiba na yung translation. Kasi hypocrites, it means to act something or someone that you are not. So, sang culture yung acting? Is it Jewish culture or is it Greek culture? Di ba that is a Greek, di ba galing sa Greece yung yung theater, arts, and all those stuff. So the word hypocrite was actually, the minor errors that happened when the scripture was carried by Paul to the Gentiles. So yun lang ha, one word lang yun. But it has a very, very big impact. And also the word faith in the Bible. So, ngayon, di ba, when we talk about faith, it means belief, or most likely a blind belief. But the original Hebrew word that was translated faith today is actually the word emuna. And emuna means faithfulness in action or fidelity. So meaning, if you have faith in Jesus Christ, you don't believe that Jesus is God, but you need to follow His teachings. That's faithfulness. That's emuna. But when it was translated from Jewish to Greek, what happened is that the word emuna was translated into the word pistis. And the word pistis actually means belief or blind belief. So, yun lang. Etong mga maliliit na mga mistranslations na to, when it circulated, ang dami ng misinterpretations at misconceptions. Yun. Alright, so yeah, there's so much to talk about the Bible, starting from the Old Testament to the New Testament. Paano nagkaroon ng 5 books of the law? Bakit nagkaroon ng Torah? Why do they need to have scriptures, the Jewish people, to support their identity as a race, as a culture? Ilang beses silang nasakop ng mga mananakop ng mga dayuhan, and even the book of Genesis is heavily influenced by the Babylonian mythology, because when the Jews were captured by the Babylonians, the Jews only have a concept of God, but they don't have really a cosmology, or the ideas of hierarchies of heavens, creation, or whatnot. So when they were captured by the Babylonians, they were educated by the Babylonians. Doon nila nagawa yung Book of Genesis. And mind you, that even if the Book of Genesis is the first book in the Bible, the Book of Genesis is the youngest book in the Old Testament. Yun yung pinaka-recent na nasulat. However, because it talks about creation, yun yung nilagay sa unahan. Alright? So I hope that made sense. Sorry, napahaba yung explanation ko. Hindi ka ba naguluhan? So I hope I'm making sense. So, sino pa bang nandyan? Hello po sa lahat. Ash Deborah, sir, could you explain the difference between guides and tulpas? What do you mean by a tulpa? Is it a tulpa that is self-created? Like, are you the one who created a tulpa, or someone created it? And what do you mean by guide? Do you mean a physical guide or a spiritual guide? Um, I don't know if I got this correctly, but a tulpa kasi, most likely these are, yeah, according sa legends ha, a tulpa kasi can be created because of your consciousness. Um, Sabi nga ng iba, because of magic, because of mysticism or whatnot. But a tulpa can be, something that is self-created. Sabi nga nila, it could be likened to an imaginary friend. But there are voices kasi inside our head minsan that is not created by an external factor. Um, okay, going back to the concept of reincarnation. Every time kasi a human daw reincarnates, ine-erase yung memories natin on that specific lifetime so that when we reincarnate, we start new, we start fresh. But what we carry is just the karma. However, um, sometimes, no? Sometimes, I don't know if totoo ba to na may glitch daw. But I think this is not a glitch. But sometimes kasi hindi daw na-erase yung memories or yung past life memories at yung hindi lang yung memories but yung personality, yung past life personality mo. So, when you are born into this world, you have a new body, you have a new hardware. However, dalawa yung software sa utak mo. May isa kang, there is specific, what do you call that? Do you have a new blank software, which is your conscious mind right now, and you also have your mind from your past life, from your past life. So, yun, there are cases like that na sometimes you hear voices inside your head, sometimes may taong gumaguide sa nito, but that is still you. It's just that that specific program was not erased. It still exists right now. So, yun. But yeah, a tulpa. A tulpa can also be something that is created mentally. But I don't think a tulpa is wise enough to really, give guidance. But a tulpa can also be a guide in a way, but I'm really not sure what do you mean, Ash, with these guides. But I think what you mean to say is a spiritual guide, right? So a spiritual guide can be, a spirit, could be angelic beings, or it could be an ascended master, right? Uh, Guides can be, somewhat more more enlightened in nature, more wise in nature, compared to a tulpa that is just, let's say, artificially created, if there is such a word for spirituality, artificially created, created by your own consciousness, created by your own thought, or created by someone. It's a thought form of someone, and we don't know if that someone is wise enough to create a tulpa that will guide you, or it could be a self-generated tulpa that you created. It's like your imaginary friend, or it could also be your past life program, your past life personality that was not successfully wiped out, right, during your present incarnation. Okay. All right. So yeah, time check. It's already 12:43. I guess everyone is parang yung iba nahihimbing na siguro sa pagtulog. Alright, so yeah, it's almost 1. So kailangan ko na rin matulog. Kailangan ko na rin mapahinga because tomorrow is another day. Right, so guys, for all those who are here, for all those who joined me, kahit dun sa mga nakatulog na, thank you so much for joining me tonight. So I really enjoyed our discussion. Maraming questions, maraming katanungan. And yeah, thank you so much. Saan yan? Delbert Carillo, thank you for coming here, bro. Joanna Paula Marte, I think she's not here anymore, but thank you. Thank you for joining. Romel Andoy, brother, thank you. Thank you for your questions and for your participation. John Spencer, brother, thank you. Sino pa? Sino ba? Mama Lenny, Mama, thank you so much for joining me. And Ash Deborah, brother, thank you then for your participation. So I hope, guys, that you have learned something new today. So para tapusin to, no, gusto ko lang talagang i-emphasize to, that do not believe in anything because you've heard it somewhere, you've seen it somewhere, or because I've said it, you've read it somewhere. Always practice seeking, because a true seeker does not believe in anything he sees or he hears. A true seeker is really a seeker. You are really seeking, because sometimes if we are not seeking and you presume that you know already something, then what you are doing is not seeking, right? You are merely validating your belief. You are merely validating that what you believe in is true, right? So a true seeker is not like that. You need to seek. You need to have that experience within yourself before you believe in anything. If it makes sense to you, take it. If it does not make sense to you, then leave it. That's just it. All right. So thank you so much, guys. Once again, once you have followed, once you started following someone, you will stop following the light within you. All right. So thank you so much for your time, guys. Good night, everyone. Namaste.